So we just created a project, product REST API from Eclipse, new Spring Startup project, is it not? In some cases, because of network settings, it may not allow you to create a project in case. So what is the solution for that? We can create a project from the Spring Starter website. From the Spring Starter website. Okay. So in case while creating a project from here, new Spring Starter project, once you give all the properties, so of course it will download the template. You can see the status, is it not? So it might not create a project. So what is the solution for us? So you can just go to Google, open a browser and search for Spring Starter. Just search for Spring Starter. So this will take you to the Spring Initializer website. Start.spring.io. So here we need to create a project and we need to download it. So how we can do that? First of all, language Java, project should be of type Maven. This is by default the Spring Boot version. So group. Okay. So I can just change it. com.sidac.training, name of the project. Okay. So I'll just say, for example, test, just for understanding. Okay. Test and com.sidac.training test. Okay. So once that is done, you need to add the dependencies here. Here you need to add the dependencies. So I can search for web. I get here. It's coming. You can add dependencies. Next is JPA. I select this. We're getting it here. Next, MySQL. Okay. Add dependencies. Again, dev tools. I'm getting it. So next, we had Lombok. Yes. So that's all. If you want, you can just check it, explore. You can just, after giving this thing, now you can just click on explore. It will show the pom.xml file and the contents, how it is created. Okay. We'll just see that. So now you can just say download, or you can just say generate. This I think you can close. Yeah, you can close that. And now you can just click on generate. Okay. So it will download the zip file. Test.zip. So now I'll just open this folder and I'll just try to unzip. You need to unzip it. Okay. So once that is done, you need to unzip it to the workspace. You need to unzip it to the workspace. So in my case, it is G drive, web workspace here. So extracted it. So once it is extracted, go to Eclipse. So actually it should come here. Does it not? Test. It's not coming. You can just say file, open projects from file system. Open projects from file system. So directory, web workspace, test. It unzip it. That's all to this workspace. Select folder, finish. So now we'll have that test. You can just see now. Expand it. src main Java. pom.xml. Okay. Everything is there. So you can start from here. In case, these are two ways how to create a project. This is the two ways how we can create a project. One directly from the Spring Starter and then from the Spring Initializer website. Clear? So this is how we can do that. Then you can continue creating the files, packages, etc. one by one. Yeah. So that is the thing. Next, I just want to show you in the previous example, wherever we did that product REST API. So we'll continue with that now. Hmm? So src main Java. We created all the packages. We created all the packages in the controller, product controller. So just to test, I have created this one method hello. So what we do now? We open Postman. We open Postman. I'll just open Postman from the beginning. Okay. So from the start, you can search for the Postman app. So it has to register. Okay. Before downloading, you need to register. So once you're logged in, then only you can open. Hmm? So you'll get this option. Okay. So from here, we just click on the new. Click on new tab here. For making a new request, you just click on the new tab. Click on the new tab and just select new workspace. New workspace. So we're doing API testing. Okay. We're doing API testing, or you can also do blank. Select blank workspace. Select blank workspace. Click on next. Give the name. Hmm? SIDAC demo. So whatever I'm doing here. So for that, okay, you could have given also a product REST API test. Hmm? I'll do that. Product hyphen REST API. And just click on create. So this will create a workspace. Like we create a workspace in Eclipse. Now here also we'll create a workspace. So now click on go to workspace. So you can just see here the workspace is created. Hmm? So once that is done, now we'll create a collection of requests. Now we'll create a collection of requests. You can just see, you know, we are under product REST API. So we'll make it, you can just see that. We'll create a collection of requests. So just click on this. Hmm? Product REST API. So here, no need of again collection, directly click on this over this tab, the plus tab, like a browser only. Hmm? So here I'll just paste the URL http localhost 8087 product REST API hello. Hmm? And click on send. So I'm getting this. Okay. So what is this? Same from the controller. This we can see also in the browser also. What type of request we are making? Get. You just select the drop down list, you'll get different option. Get, post, put, all those things. Patch, delete, all those things. We'll see this one by one. So like this. Okay. So next, I'll minimize this postman. So now we'll just try to work on performing the CRUD operation on the product. Performing the CRUD operations on the product database. Previously, we did that through which one? Controller. Now we are just given the annotation REST controller. Yes. So this code will have the comments also. So why we are using REST controller? Why we are using REST controller? Why? To create RESTful web services using Spring MVC. To create a RESTful web services using Spring MVC. So all this information is here. You can, when you're free, you can just go through this. Okay. So the basic functionality, what is this? To create a RESTful web services. Now, we're just giving one more annotation here to the class. So that's nothing but request mapping. Request mapping. Okay. We're just giving one more annotation. Request mapping name equals slash API. Request mapping name equals slash API. So it basically maps HTTP request with a path to a controller. In the previous examples, in the previous project, we have not done that. Okay. So now, because there will be so many methods. So before going to that methods, let it look onto this API mapping also, the class mapping name also. It should be always given with the help of request mapping. It maps HTTP request with a path to a controller. So it's a good practice to give a mapping name to the controller also. Mapping name to the controller. Hmm? Yes. Yes. So before that, we'll just create a repository. First, we'll come from the backward direction. First, we'll come from the backward direction. Okay. So we need to create a repository. So new what? Repository should be of what type? Interface. Repository of should be of type interface. Okay. So what should be the name? Product repository. In the previous cases, I extended the interface there itself in the code. In this case, I will add from here while creating an interface itself. So product repository extending which repository? Instead of JPA, I'll mention CRUD repository. Okay, or I'll go for JPA and don't get confused. Anyhow, JPA repository. Yeah. Hmm? So while creating a repository itself, we're adding the extended interface. This also can be done. So finish. So you'll get this statement automatically. Otherwise, again, you need to type. Otherwise, again, you need to type. Hmm? So product and data type will be long. Okay, we're not created the product class. So that you should have done first. Hmm? Yeah. Go to the model, new class. So first we need to create a model class. Then you should go for the repository. Create a model class. So I'm giving this code with the lots of user comments for your reference. Hmm? So import java x.persistence. Okay. Same whatever we did previously. So each time I need to import, is it not? For that reason, here I'll just say asterisk or star. So you can just see here everything is applied automatically. This you can do. Otherwise, each time you need to import, import, import. So generate default Keras and Ceres. So generate constructors, default constructor, then generate constructor using fields. So ID will be generated automatically. ID will be generated automatically. Still we need to give that. It should be initialized. Okay. Then generate getters and setters. Generate getters and setters. Okay. So this is my model class. So all those things which we have. Okay. This is for Oracle. As of now, I'll just comment this is not required. We are created a sequence. Why I'm giving this? Because my product will start from 1 2 3. Now I just want to start from 1000 that's why I'm just giving. Okay, this is later you can check that. Hmm? So I'll be closing my stuff here itself. That's nothing but strategy equals generation type identity. So next we'll go to the product repository. We'll go to the product repository. So now you'll get this import stuff. You'll get the import. So now you'll not get error, is it not? Hmm? So all the things we have done previously also for information. So this JPA repository, whichever we are using, that is used basically for managing data in a Spring Boot application. It's basically used for managing your data in Spring Boot application. Okay. So this has API for CRUD operations, APIs for pagination, and API for yes. And this layer interacts with which one? Database. Okay. This layer interacts with the database. So this particular interface has what? As I told in the previous case also, all the predefined methods, save, find all, find by ID, all those things. Okay. So as we all know, we're not writing any code. It will be automatically implemented. It will be automatically implemented. So now we'll go to the service class. Now we'll go to the service class. Service package, and we'll just create a product service. We'll create a product service. So what is that? It should be annotated with the service and transactional and transactional. So these are the two things first you need to create. And what is the next step? You need to create an instance of product repository. You need to create an instance of product repository as prepo. Okay. And we need to do auto white. You're performing the dependency injection. Okay. So this much we need to perform. Yeah. So first thing, as usual, we'll just try to save the product. So I'll copy all the methods. Okay. To perform the CRUD operations. So I have a service class, and here I have all the methods to perform the CRUD operations on the product. Okay. The same what we had done previously. So first we look into the save method. What is that? Save product. Okay. So using this instance, I'm just trying to save the product which has been passed. So only look onto these people, nothing else. Hmm? So first we'll try to save a product. First we'll try to save the product. Okay. Save the product. So that's all. So next we'll go to controller. We'll just go to the controller. So what's the first thing? You need to create an instance of product service. We need to create an instance of product service. Name it as P service. Okay. So next, I'm creating a method to save a product. I'm just creating a method to save a product. So now we'll be using post mapping. You know that now? Why you're using post mapping? Because we're making a post request. And as I told you now, previously what did you do? String. The return type was string. Now the return type we are making it as response entity. Why? Because it represents an HTTP response including headers, body, and status. So if you're giving the return type as response entity, we will get these three information. The actual response, then the headers, the body, and status. Any response will consist of three things: headers, body, and status. So to get this detailed information, we are using the response entity as a return type of for product. Okay. And name of the method is save product. This is for validating your this thing. And we are using request body. Request body. So that's all. HTTP status dot created. Import from Spring Framework. Everything from Spring Framework. Okay. Now just look here. We have something called as request body. This annotation automatically deserializes the JSON into Java type. So previously what we used instead of request body, what did we use? Request parameter. So this is used to take the data from the form as a normal Java object. But now we are getting the data in which format? JSON. We are getting data in the form of JSON. So for that reason, we'll be using request body. So request body basically deserializes. What is that? Converting the JSON into Java type. JSON object into Java object. Okay, for that reason. So P service dot save product. I'm passing that product, whichever you are calling. Okay, whichever you are passing. So if it is passed successfully, then I'll get a return response entity dot status equals HTTP status dot created. So what are these? These are the methods of which one? Properties of which one? Response entity. Okay. So return the body. In the body, return the object which you have saved. Yeah. Now here we are performing exception handling. We are performing exception handling. In the previous examples, we have not done that. So this is a better way. We are doing all this operation with a try catch block. So I'm trying something during this process. If you're getting any exception, you'll get this in the console plus null. In this case, it will return the product. It will return the product. Okay. So what's my port number? 8087. Here I'm just giving this. Okay. Comments also what do you need to do. So what's your project name? product REST API. My project name is product REST API. Okay. Here, product REST API, API slash products. Okay. Okay. Here it should be value, not name. Should be value. Just look here. I've given the task what you need to do. I've given a comment like what you need to do in the Postman. So open a Postman, make a post request to this particular URL. To this particular URL. So I'll copy this. I'll go to the Postman. I'll click on new tab. I'll click on the new tab. So what type of request? Post. Previously what I was making? Get. Now I'm making post request. I'm pasting the URL 8087. My project name is, this is the mapping name for the class. And this is the mapping name for method. This is the mapping name for the method. Previously directly we used to call the method name. Now I have a mapping name for the class. So API slash products. So just look here. Now I need to save the object. I need to save the object. So I cannot directly do that. So here I need to just click on body. Click on the body tab. Okay. So in the body you have to select raw. Here you have to select JSON. So now you'll get this option here. Okay. So how the JSON data you are entering? How you will be entering the JSON data? Within braces. Okay. So all the properties should be within double quotes. All the properties should be within double quotes. Which are the properties, people? It should be same as your model class. So ID is automatically generated. So name, brand, made in, price. Name, brand, made in, price. Okay. So name. So comma. Then brand. Now just look here. Actually, we need to design a form in React and we have to give it. Enter the values there. But as we are not done ready with the React form, React application, we need to do it through the Postman. Okay. Next is what? Made in. Made in. So next is price. Okay. So numerical values I'm not giving within double quotes. Numerical values I'm not giving within a double quotes. So this is how we can enter the JSON data. Okay. Name, brand, made in, and price. So I'm making a post request under body raw JSON you have to select. Click on send. Yes, it's inserted. It is inserted and it is returning me here. Okay. I'll go and check in. Product DB. I'll refresh. Yes, it's created. Okay. So why we are doing this? Why we are doing this? Because we don't have our UI ready. We don't have our user interface ready. So that's why UI should be done where? In React or Angular. We are not have ready. So that's why I'm just doing through Postman. We're doing through Postman. Got it? So in React.js, you need to create a product form, create a text boxes for entering all those things. When you click on submit, the data will go and store it in table. Instead of that, we are using Postman. What is it? REST API testing tool. It's a REST API testing tool. So we are entering the data in which format? JSON. So this JSON object is taken where? In the request body. In the request body, it is calling here. It is going to this method. Okay. So now it has an object, the JSON object. That JSON object will be taken where? Using request body annotation as product, and that product you are passing on through which one? To the service method. From the service method, it is passing on to the repository, then to database. Got it? So that is by using request body to convert JSON into Java type. Okay. So during this process, if it is inserted, it will return that to object called as P of type product. So that we are printing that in the returning that in the response entity as in the body. Okay. If there is any error, it will return the null. So here it is returning now in the body. So like that. So now I'll try to insert one more record. I'll try to insert one more record. Okay, just need to change the value. So this is how we are just trying to give the JSON data. Yeah. So laptop. So I'm just sending it. So now also I'm getting the what data here. It's returning. Again, I'm sending the data. Okay. So I will just try to refresh your table. I have 3 records. I have 3 records. So I'm just using Postman to insert the data. I'm using Postman to insert the data. Okay. Clear? So this is a sample. If you want, I'll just give that in the comments. How to insert the JSON object. So for your reference, I'm just giving here. Okay. This is how we need to insert the JSON object. Yes. So now we'll try to display the records back. Now we'll just try to display the records back. Now this operation I cannot do in the browser. Browser can make only what? Get request. Browser can make only a get request. So here, yes. We already have a service method, everything designed, is it not? So now we'll make a get request. Yes. Here also return type is what? Response entity of type list of product. So I will get many products, is it not? So that is why we're just creating list of product. Get all products is the name. So we have mapped with what? Products only. So here also the mapping name is products. Here also mapping name is products. Will it work? Why? Here it is get mapping. But there it was post mapping. If it was to get mapping, it will not work. So p service dot list all. We have a method there in the service class. Okay. So if everything is fine, we are returning the list of products. Okay, products. Else again, we are performing the exception handling here also. Yes. So what I'll do, I'll copy this URL. I'll copy this URL. We'll go to Postman. I'll click on new tab. For each operation, I'll click on new tab. Why? So that I can see that this will be saved. Okay. All these operations will be saved. So now I need to make a get request. We need to make a get request. Yes. Is it create or update? Did we change? Okay, so if I refresh, that's why I'm getting empty data. So it worked. Only thing is we have an empty data. Okay, no issues. Now I can go to the previous tab. So my data is already there. This is why each time I go to the new tab and do that. So I click on send. It's inserting now. Just look at this is coming with the PID product ID 1. This is coming with the product ID 1. So I'll just quickly insert other projects. Hmm? What? Yes. So now we are inserted 3 products. Now I go to the next tab. In the previous case, it was getting empty, right? So now we are making a get request. Okay. We're making a get request. So now I'm getting an output. So there in React, we need to create a JSP file for, React page so that will display the list of products. So as this is a get request, I can see this also in what? Browser. As it is a get request, I can see these details in my browser also. We can see these details in a browser. Clear? So only get we can see. The rest are all we have to use which one? Postman. We have to use always Postman. Yeah. So this is how it will work. So we are done with what? CRUD, create a read. Okay. Now we'll write a method to get a product, single product. We'll write a method to get a single product. Okay. So for that, we'll be using now path variable. What is the use of path variable annotation? I just explained in the morning session. To read the variable value from the URL. To read the value from the URL, we'll be using path variable. Okay, so that's what in this case we'll be using that. Okay, fine. So here we'll be using one exception class called as resource not found exception. What is this? It's a user defined exception class. User defined exception class, people. Okay, so actually we should have done this in the very beginning. I'll create one more package under base package. Now we'll create one more package called as exception. We'll create one more package called as exception. And under this, we'll create a new class. Under this exception package, we will create a new class called as resource not found exception. This one. Under this package, we'll create a new class with the name resource not found exception, which is inherited from. I'll create a new class called as resource not found exception, which is inherited from, which is the root class of all the exception classes. Okay. So this class will give the response stated as HTTP status not found. Okay. Again, this belongs to Spring framework, people. Yeah. After this, I'm generating a constructor. Source generate constructor. So deselect all, select only the last but one, means which will throw the message, exception message, and that will be displayed. So what is this? User defined exception. This is called as user defined exception. We created our own class resource not found exception, which is extending the predefined class exception, and this will normally give the status for not found. Now why I'm doing that? Because I'm trying to search a product ID, is it not? I'm trying to search a product ID. So if the product ID is not found, it should throw resource not found exception. So if it is not found, what normally happens? You'll get an exception. Okay. So it's better to handle the exceptions, right? So that is why we are doing this. Otherwise, it's not required. Hmm? So that's why we created this class. I'll go to the product controller. So we'll be importing that path variable. This is what I was just trying to tell you. So this is used to take the value from the URL. URL. Okay. So I just want to product. Just look here. We're using get mapping. We're using get mapping to products. So now I'm using this placeholder with the value ID. So just look here, people. You need to access product ID with a 4. So that 4 will be taken to ID. Fine. And that ID is passed on to path variable. Here it is represented with PID. And that you are calling that service class method get single product. So PID is passed there. So path variable is for that reason. So I need to make an HTTP request for product ID 4. For example, I'll make a HTTP request for product ID 4. Okay. So just look, it will just say resource not found exception, product not found this particular ID. So what is this? This is the Java 8 way of using the, what is that? Or else throw exception handling. In Java 8 onwards, we are using this or else throw. So when you're just trying to do this, if the product is there, it will store it in P. So that product will be displayed as a response entity. It will return that. Otherwise, it will just say product not found for this ID. So I'll just open Postman in a new tab. It's again get request. I'm searching the product with an ID 4. Hmm? Where is it? No, no, it should display. It is saying could not send request. You just understand. Okay. Or we have an error. System. So whenever you get the problem with the jars, just update the Maven project. Just update the Maven project. Yes, should get this message. What is that? Product not found for this ID. Message product not found for this ID 4. Okay, of course I don't have product. Now I'll use what? 2. I'll use /2. So this variable value is read through which one? Path variable. Using path variable. I'm getting a product by ID based on ID. If I just say 1, I'm getting that 1. If I just say 3, yes, third line. Got it? So previously we never displayed that, but we use that in which one? Updating. But here we have a separate method to display a single product also. To display single product means that is also one method of which one? JPA, JPA repository. Again, just to recap, we already have defined that methods. Find by ID, find all, save, all those things. So now we'll see this. Delete. We have a delete, plus we need to do also update. That is again, we'll use which method? Save product now. It's one and the same. Okay. So this one, the return type is of response entity. Okay. If the product is found, that will return the single product P. Otherwise, it will throw a resource not found exception. What is this? We're defining a user defined exception. We are specifying the user defined exception. Whereas in the previous case, system defined exception it will throw. In this case, system defined. We are using try catch. But here there is no try catch. Instead of that, we are using throws keyword. So this method might throw what? Resource not found exception. What is that? User defined exception. So what actually happens? It will create a new instance of this. So this will be passed on to which one, people? This method here. Got it? And from that to here. Then it will display in the console. Next, update. Yeah, the next is update product. The next is update product. Now just look here. We could have done this code without response entity, without exception handling. Just understand. Same code we can do in the simple manner. Without try catch, without exception handling, and without the return type as what? Response entity. It will be very simple to see. But if you're doing this, that's how we done the real time also. Okay. So next, as I told you, we'll just try to do the update product. We'll try to do the update product. So now what type of mapping? Put mapping. When you want to update a product, now we need to do that. Put mapping. put is basically called as update. Here also you are passing what? Which product you want to update. ID. Okay. So here also you are passing an ID, is it not? So that is taken here in the path variable, referred with the PID, and it will also take the product you want to update. Means you're also passing the Java object, sorry, JSON object, what do you want to update with the new value. Okay. So request body product, that will be taken as the P. So first thing what you are trying to do is, we'll see that whether that product exists. So I cannot update a product which does not exist in your table. So I should first check whether that product exists. So if it does not exist, it will just say not found. If it exists, we're just giving the new values using setter methods. Using setter methods. So we're already getting the existing values using getter methods, and we can set the new values there. So this will be saved. This will be passed on to the same method which is already existing. This is, we are just trying to update product with the new values. You can update the brand, you can update the made in, get name or price. Okay. So once you update, we are using the setter method for that. So that updated product is sent and it will be returned here. And that will be printed. The updated product. Okay. So the product we are setting, whichever you got, whichever we returned here. So that is set with the new values and sent to the database again for saving. And here, just to verify, we are just looking that. So if you want to update, first you want to get that product. If it is there, then only we can update. Okay. So here also, if it is not there, it will just show resource not found, exception. So how to check that? Put mapping products ID. Yes. So I'll go to the new tab. So what type of request we'll make? Put. In this case, we'll make a put request. Copy the URL. Go to body. Raw. JSON. Okay. And here, you need to type that as you did in the post. This one. Okay, I'll copy this. Sorry, this one, that's nothing but 3, right? Yeah, this one only. That's USA, laptop USA. This is a product ID with 3, okay? Product ID with the 3. Here I'll paste it. Just look here. I need to type the same JSON. So here you have to specify that product / 3. Fine. So from 75,000, I'll change it to 80,000. Lenovo laptop is done. The price I'll change it to 80,000. Okay, this also I'll change. So this I'll change to India. This will change to India. The third one, just look here. Third. So we'll check in the database first. So Lenovo, third one, 75,000 USA. 75,000 USA. So now I'm just trying to update. Put mapping. I'm passing on 3 here, the product ID. I'm setting the new values here in the JSON format. India, 80,000. Just click on send. Method put is not supported. Should work. Yeah, we're not saved still. Yes, now we'll check. Yes, so it is up. It is getting us the updated product. It is not getting us the updated product with the values, new values. In the meantime, you can go and check, verify your USA 75. India 80. It's updated the price. So we just given here, change the values here and it will display the updated product. So in case if I pass 77, selling product not found for this ID. Okay, we can update only the product which exists. So you have to pass this. So you're passing two things. One is the path variable and there is a request body. This method update product takes two types. One is the path variable and there is the body itself, request body. So that is why you please check here path variable, then request body. Validated is basically used for validating your JSON data, validating your JSON object. So that P we are passing on. Okay, before that, the PID we are searching. Whether if it exists, we are setting that product with the new values. Then we are sending that product to save. Then we are returning the upgraded product. So once it is inserted, you can just see now you are getting that upgraded product. Okay. So here we are using which method? Two methods are used. One is get single product and the rest save product. Get single product and there is a save product. Why? First I need to search it. If it exists, then only we will be saving it. So for updates, what we are trying to do? We are using this method only. We are using this method. Got it? So we are finished with the CRUD operations. Delete we have to do. Sorry, delete we have to do now. Yeah. We'll do the delete now. So already in the service class, we have the delete product method. We already have the delete product. Yeah. This one I just want to tell you. Optional. When I use get single product, the return type is optional. Where is it? It's a new feature in Java 8 to handle null pointer exception. To handle null pointer exception. Okay. So what is this null pointer exception? Optional handles null pointer exception. So normally when you have an exception, what happens? The program is terminated abruptly. The program is terminated abruptly. So in case that product is not found, it will throw an exception. So if you are using the return type as optional, the exception will not be thrown. The exception will not be thrown. Otherwise, it will throw an error. Exception means, the program will come to halt abruptly. So to avoid that, we are using the optional here. It's a Java 8 feature. It's a Java 8 feature. It's only introduced after Java 8. So optional handles a null pointer exception. This is for information. So next, as I told you, we'll look with the delete product. We'll check out the delete product. So we'll write now a method to delete a product. We'll write a method to delete a product. So now the mapping will be delete mapping. Now mapping will be delete. The return type is of again response entity of type map. Okay, here also we have path variable because we'll be deleting based on what? ID. We'll be deleting based on a ID. So p service dot get single product. You're passing that. If it is exist, if the product does not exist, it will just say product not found. Otherwise, it will just try to delete the product with this particular PID. So once it is successfully deleted, you'll get a create an object of map with the information deleted boolean true, that is sent as a response. Okay. So if it is deleted, it will just say deleted true. Otherwise, we'll throw a resource not found exception. Hmm? So map is just to create it, just to store the two values. Deleted equals true, deleted equals false, like that. Only for that reason. But everything is of type what? Return type is always response entity. So I'll just try to delete the product. So the URL, open a postman, and we have to make it this delete request. So laptop 3, no? So here I'll just select delete. Yeah, I'll try to delete the product ID with 3. The ID 3. So before that, I'll check 33. Hmm? Yeah. Yes, when I just say 33, as usual. So 3 deleted equals true. Okay, deleted equals true. So you can just cross verify. It's deleted. Hmm? It's deleted. So if I make a get request, here also I can just see the 3 is not there. 3 is not there. So I'll just go to post. I'll insert that again. Insert that again. Okay. So that will have that data. So this is how we are making the delete request. Yes, this has to be connected. So all the CRUD operations are done. All the CRUD operations are done for the product. Hmm?